I'm sorry, but Persona 1 sucks so much. I have played around 200 games to the credits. I have gone through the entirety of Persona 1 twice now. It is still my least favorite video game of all time. I quite literally think it's the worst game ever based on what I've played. I truly, out of all the video essays I've watched, out of everything, whenever people sing praises about this game, I'm not even hyperbolizing. I have no idea what they're talking about. The entire time I'm literally like, did we play the same game? And like Persona 3, 4, and 5 are all in like my top 20 games of all time. So they're in like the top 10%. So this isn't even me not liking Persona. Persona 5 Royal's literally my favorite game of all time. I know that alone is a hot take and stuff, but I don't think you're stupid for like thinking 4 or 3 is the best game. I don't even think you're stupid for liking 1 or 2. I just simply don't understand you as a human being. The combat is absolute garbage. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that like nothing has been made like the combat system since. It's just not fun at all. It is only saved by the fact that it has a pretty good, albeit wildly overrated battle theme. And like the story, I'm sorry, is just non-existent. Symbolism is not a good placeholder for actual plot. They're not even the same like relative area. Every problem that people like have with modern Persona games that aren't like dating sim and 2 anime, like every problem they have with the writing and stuff is worse in Persona 1. Every character feels so shallow. There's like no depth to any of them. Just so you guys know, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm literally just very passionate about how much I don't like the game. You are free to like the game. You are not stupid for liking the game. You can even say that the game is like really well written. I cannot objectively refute that and stuff. I do not think less of you. I just hate this game more than anything on the planet. It's just my crackpot theory, but I feel like the only explanation that my tiny brain can figure out is that like people think that subtlety equals better writing, which I don't think it does. I think you can have the most on-the-nose metaphors ever and have excellent execution. That's a lot of what Persona 5 is, and that's why I like it. You can flat out like tell the viewer the message of the story and still have good execution. The fact that your character's dialogue is subtle does not mean the actual substance it's being subtle about is good. And in my opinion, the stuff they're subtle about isn't good at all, and it means nothing. There's themes in this game that are present, that like, you know, there's self-actualization, a lot of psychology related stuff, the fragility of time, all that type of stuff. Like, it's present in a lot of other Persona games, and I understand that there are themes. I just don't think that they're well executed on literally at all. It's just like dark and subtle, so I feel like it like tricks people into thinking that it's better than it is. Like, the moment I played it, I was like, I guarantee you there are people who think that this is like the most underrated masterpiece of all time. And lo and behold, everyone thinks that apparently. They're like, the only reason you don't like Persona 1 is because you've only played Persona 5. Played all the Persona games start to finish. I think 1 is garbage. Like, people are always like ranting about all the great things about the game. I never hear them like be specific. Like, you ask anyone why they like Goro Akechi from Persona 5, they will not shut the hell up for the next 2 hours. You ask people why they like any character from Persona 1, they're just like, oh, I love like their vibes, you know, like I love their character development and like how like they're different at the end than they were at the beginning. And you're like, what do you mean by that? And they're just like, oh, just the writing, man. It's just so good. And I know it seems like super hypocritical because I'm not being very specific right now, but like when my whole opinion like centers around the idea of something being a nothing burger, I don't know how I can like rant about it being nothing. You know what I mean? I've seen like all the video essays, like, and all the tier lists, just like everything, like why Persona 1 is a masterpiece that's like arguably better than the like New Age trilogy and stuff. I've heard all the explanations. I've heard like almost no good ones. I've heard story synopsises to make sure that I understand what was happening and all the symbolism and what everything was supposed to represent and what the character lines were supposed to mean and stuff. I still don't like any of it. This is not being like, oh yeah, tell me, go ahead right now. See, you can't think of anything. Genuinely, if you can think of specific reasons that you like Persona 1 or its characters or its themes or anything like that, like, can someone please, like, in the comments tell me, like, why they like it so much. This is not me being snarky. I swear to God, I literally want to know what you think of the game, but like be like really specific. Be like, this character arc did this and this character ended up like this instead of this and everything, because whenever people rant about this game and sing its praises, it's the most vague stuff I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, that's just my personal experience. Maybe I'm just on the wrong side of the internet. But yeah, anyways, I'm sure everyone will agree with this video and we'll all just be happy.